Hello and welcome to week 2 of Word of Mouth Reviews with Mistress M and the Word of Mouth crew. Now the whole crew are here with us this week and they've got a lot to review, so I won't take up too much of your time. Obviously I've been to see a few shows myself and, well, that Geraldine Hickey girl, well, she can make even Mistress M blush and laugh, so go see her. This gentleman here, he tells me in his little blurb that he's going to talk to me about the game and pick-up tricks. He didn't even mention it till halfway through, and I just would like to reiterate, if you're going to put on a comedy festival show, get a director and make sure your blurb is accurate to what your show is about. But that's just my thoughts. So, let's see what the review crew have to say.
I'm just going to be quickly touching on 3 shows that I saw during the week. First show was Josh Earl's Love Songs and Dedications, which is a really strong show after the one he had last year, which was a breakout show for him. Last year's was the Australian Women's Weekly Children's Birthday Cake Book Show, which must have been the longest show title for the year last year, but it was a really likeable show this year. He's a very nice, easygoing musical comedian. People know me from last week, I like the musical comedy, so that's one of my favourites. It's a really good show for taking friends and partners. Quite a few times during the show I saw people poking other people sitting next to him saying you do that sort of thing and having fun, so it was a really, really fun show that way. He's sort of got that clever, nerdy librarian type look to him, and he's definitely an amazing songwriter. He's probably not the best singer, but his comedy and as a comedian and songwriting is really, really good. So I can highly recommend him. Quite a few times I found myself tapping my foot to songs he was doing, and yeah, I really liked it. I thought it was, I just noticed him walking into the room too, so that was really good.
That's all good.
Yes, so no, it was really good, and I enjoyed it, and so it's definitely a show I would go see.
Fan of the Love Song channel,
Yeah.
that I get to listen to it once a week. It's it was a great show.
Yeah.
That if you have ever listened to the channel, then you'll get most of the jokes that Josh does.
But saying that, even without knowing the jokes, I still laughed a lot in it. So because I know of it. I mean, I've heard of Casey Kasem and all that sort of stuff. So I know the sort of radio style, of what they do. But the other thing I did want to mention is that he just got a 4-star Herald Sun review too. So. Yeah, definitely worth going to see. So yeah, and that's at Trades Hall.
When you think of musical comedy, you tend to think of acoustic guitars and floppy hair, not Dead Cat Bounce. We all saw their show in the first week of the festival down at the Spiegel tent, and they're as rocking as Spinal Tap ever was. The Irish group, they're an Irish group. They're back for their 2nd year, and while the show this year, it's not entirely new, but it's highly enjoyable. Probably about half the songs that they did were songs that they'd done at last year's show, but it's, in the way of a band, you're just used to you like having the familiar songs that you can rock out to, and then also, you appreciate...
You've got your favourites that you like to hear,
Yeah, and then you appreciate the newer stuff as well.
Yep.
The new stuff is just as good as the old material. The only problem that I had with them is they have a lot of mid-song banter, and with the Irish accent, they were speaking so quickly that I know I was missing some of the jokes. I was just sort of, laughing where I knew was appropriate, and just went, later on I'm sure I'll remember what they actually said. I know we all saw it.
Yep.
What else do you guys think?
Oh, I loved it. It's I saw them first time with Sam in Edinburgh, and I missed them last year, but this year I've caught on to them again. I went, as I said, the first week at Spiegel. Spiegel's a really good venue for it as well. It's a more low key, definitely a relaxing sort of feel to the gig. It's high energy music too. It's like they're fully rocking out. I bought both the CDs, $25 for both the CDs, and I've been listening to them all week. So yeah, I can highly recommend.
Just on the venue, if you haven't seen a show at the Spiegel tent, definitely go see Dead Cat Bounce. Like, if it's going to be the only show that you see at the Spiegel, definitely do it, because the Spiegel tent is beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful venue. and it just kind of goes with Dead Cat Bounce.
The next one we're just going to talk to about is Adam Rosenberg. I've got to say I was a little bit disappointed in this year's show. Normally I've seen his shows throughout the year, and I've seen him do his trial shows with Adam Hill's venue that he had running before the festival, and I've always liked Adam, and I listen to him on the radio, and I think he's really good. But this show, I just don't know whether he's chosen a right forum or a right style. He goes ahead with the show, and he's talking about being single and single-darium or whatever it's.
Single dumber.
Single dumber, is it? Yeah. Yes. So he talks about that, and then he, for some reason, stops and starts speaking to somebody in the audience. He finds out their name, what they've done today, and just has a general chat with them, which really destroys the flow. And the person that I was on that night just did one-word answers back to him. And you could see it was not working out, but he just sort of persisted with going with it. And then he went back to the show, and back into the show he was good again and flowing, and everything was nice. And then he did it again with another person on the other side. And whether it was on the night that he had two people that just weren't interested in interacting with him, it just, again, ruined the flow, and it just made you look at the watch and say, what time is it? And just stuff that you wouldn't normally do with his shows. And then went back into the show, and the show was good. It just seemed to me, from what I've seen him do before, just be maybe a little bit underprepared, or whether he didn't have a full-length show and he needed an extra 6-7 minutes to say, let's do it. I mean, I've seen Adam Hill just do the same sort of thing, come out and he's gone bang, 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 and the whole half the show's in discussion with the audience, whether he's lucky and he's got people who's been able to converse with him back, and Adam didn't that night. So it's just a little bit disappointing. I mean, as I said, I've seen him do other stuff, and he's really, really good. So look, maybe I probably would miss this one, but definitely, other shows that he'll be doing throughout the year, and I'd give him another chance, definitely.
We also saw another musical comedy act for us. We saw the Dan Band the other night. Unfortunately, they've now finished their run at the festival, but
we thought it was worth mentioning anyway.
We thought it was worth mentioning. The Dan Band were recommended to me by the guys who run my comic shop. Well, this is not a usual method for the show selection that everyone would use, but I trust these guys enough that I said, yeah, okay, I'll give it a crack. The Dan Band is essentially a covers band. They shot to fame. They had a few cameos in movies like Old School and The Hangover and Starsky and Hutch. Essentially what they do is they're three guys who sing and dance to pop songs that are usually sung by girls. They usually do a bit of a medley, so they had a couple of ABBA songs all joined together. I think they also do thematic medleys. They had Genie and Christina Aguilera's song Genie mixed with Genie in the Bottle, not Genie in the Bottle, I Dream of Genie theme, and a few other songs like that.
I'm going to go see it now.
Yeah, it was one of the things I always thought, Steve, that you would really enjoy this show. For me, it took a bit for me to warm up too, mainly because I had no idea really what to expect from this show.
Yeah, me neither. It was really confusing.
Yeah, it was a little bit confusing about three guys prancing around singing girly songs.
The audience loved it. I was amazed by the amount of just cheering, and it was amazing. The whole hi-fi were just going off their nut about these guys, and I was just like,
yeah, apparently they'd seen more than we had, but we weren't, and after a while we got into it. It was good. It was good once they got into it. But it was outstanding and just a little bit confusing, but very, very good. And musically it was quite good as well. Yeah. That was the surprising thing. Quite often you find with these sort of novelty acts that musically they're not good. They're very, entertaining or clever, but when it actually comes to singing, not so good. But these guys were really, really spot on. The choreography was pleasingly crap. It was that sort of nice little moment where you go, oh, you haven't quite got that, but I think you're not meant to get that. It was really, really nice.
It was really girly.
It was.
It was lovely.
Yeah. But they have CDs out. I believe there's a video floating around somewhere of them. Definitely check these guys out. They're well worth the entertainment value.
Yeah. Look them up on YouTube.
Yeah.
Well, thanks guys, that was great. I hope you all got some good advice there. As for the week's roundup of news, I've heard that at Trades Hall this week there was an incident where Wacko and Blotto set off the fire alarms, causing the entire trades union building to be evacuated mid-shows. What I did hear was Lawrence Long is an absolute trooper and continued to perform to his audience outside Trades Hall, pointing to the fire trucks and explaining that they were the most expensive props of the entire festival. Have a good and safe festival, everyone. Bye for now.